French fries today. And actually, it's not French fries. It's Belgian fries. These fries we eat every day, but they're actually Belgian fries. They were served to the soldiers in World War I in Belgium by women speaking French. There were these delicious fried potatoes, all creamy on the inside and crispy on the outside. And when the soldiers came back after the war, they said, we'd love some French fries. And so therein came the French fry. Now, it's not just any potato that can make a good French fry. The Yukon Golds, they're good potatoes, but they're good for stews, soups, and something that holds its body, or just to roast them in the oven. And these red potatoes, they're good for the same thing. They don't quite hold up to frying. But the russet, good for breaking potatoes, good for mashed potatoes, and they're good for French fries. So we're going to start now by peeling our russet potato for our French fry. Now, the first thing we need to do before we peel the potato is actually get us a bowl of water and some ice and just a little bit of sugar. I'll say a quarter to a half a cup for a quart of water. Now, when we get through peeling our potato and slicing it, we're going to lay it in this water, cold bath, and let it get really ice cold. So let's start by peeling our potato, just with a regular potato peeler, just like you would do for any other thing, such as a carrot. Now that we're through slicing our peeling our potato, we can now start to slice it. And you need a good sharp knife for slicing the potato. And actually it's easier to work with a potato that's laying flat on the surface. So cut it in half so you can work with it. And then just actually cut some little slices about, I'd say a quarter of an inch, and cut it lengthwise all the way down, and then we'll slice it into the proverbial fry. Now we're going to slice it so that we get the real French fry that we're going to be working with. And you'll want to make sure that you don't get them too small, but that's about what we're looking for. And as soon as we slice them, we put them in our water and let them start getting cold and chilled. So we'll continue slicing these and get them chilled down. We'll chill them for about, anywhere from 30 minutes. You could do for 2 hours. Now the other thing that the chill bath does is it leaches the starch out of the very outer layer of the potato, so that when it hits that hot grease, it actually forms a seal there, and it doesn't soak up as much grease. We'll continue cutting this potato and getting it all ready. Now, while our potatoes are taking a little bath, a little cold bath, we need to get our oil ready. We've got a cast iron pan. That's the best one. It evenly transfers heat all over, and it keeps it really, really hot when you need it. And the oil we're going to be using is canola oil. The next best thing, or the better thing, is peanut oil. But we're going to be using canola oil. And we're going to put it in the pan and get it all heated up and ready. And this is going to take 2 fryings. We're going to fry it once and get it to where it's just starting to turn brown. Take them out, drain them, let them cool, and then we're going to stick them back in some really hot oil, and then they're going to come to French fries like we like them, crispy and real tender on the inside. Okay, we'll turn on our burner here and get it up to a pretty high heat. Put our pan on it, get it started heating up, and then we're going to add our oil. Now, to add our oil, we want to make sure that we don't put too little in there, and you really don't want too much. So we're going to fill it about oh, maybe a little more than a quarter to a half full, and that'll about do it. So we'll have plenty of room for them to fry around and bathe around in the hot oil after they've had their cold bath. So let's let that oil heat up, and we're going to put a thermometer on it. We're going to bring it up to about 325 to 330. Now, right before we get our French fries in the hot oil, we want to make sure we have a pan here to dry them off, because they've been in cold water, and we want to dry them off really good. We don't want another Vesuvius down here when we put them in there. It'll boil all over. We also want to get us another pan here to put them in after they're through with their first frying, and they have time to cool off. So we're going to put us a little paper towels down there, and we're going to get a little bed all ready for them so that they can rest comfortably before their next experience with the oil. Okay, our oil's just about at our magic 330, 335, somewhere in that range. And we're not going to do the full frying now. We're going to make 2 fries. So we're going to put our French fries, or our unfrenched fries, in a little pan and dry them off pretty good, so that they have a little bit of water is all wiped off of them that didn't drain off when you drain the water off of them. And then they've reached that magic temperature. We can adjust our fire just a little bit so that we don't keep heating it up, because we don't want it to get too hot on us. And we're going to drop them in. Now always drop away from you so that they don't splatter on you. And you see that bubbling? It'd be a lot more if we hadn't dried them off. So we're going to add the rest of them in here, and then we'll give them a brief stir and let them come up to temperature and just start to turn brown. Now, we rescued these fries just before they started to turn brown. So they were just starting right there on the edges to turn brown. And we brought them into our little pan lined with paper. And we're going to let them sit here and rest for a little bit and dry off a little bit and cool down a little bit. So, and then we'll be ready for our next round of events. So stay tuned. All right, now that our French fries are cooled off, we brought our oil up to about 370, 375. You can see their light wisp of smoke running off of it, so that's just about at the temperature it has to be. And we're going to drop in our fries for their little last frying. We're going to drop them in, then we're going to stir them around and let them get good and separated here. And they're going to reach a nice brown real fast. So we want to have some paper ready for them to go into the bowl. We're going to dish them out into. We're getting ready to dish out some nice French fries. I'm going to sprinkle them with your favorite seasoning. Now, a lot of people like just plain kosher salt or salt. I like Greek seasoning. And so let's just sprinkle them a little bit with Greek seasoning, rustle them around a little bit. Then we'll get ready to serve them. All right, our French fries are ready, and they can be married with a hamburger, the good old American classic, and we can dip them in one of 2 things. The original Belgians used mayonnaise or aioli, but there was a nice little condiment that we use a lot that came from China through Britain. That's ketchup. So I'll try my best at both of them. They're nice and crisp on the outside and tender on the inside. Actually, mayonnaise is pretty good. So I'm going to have me a hamburger and French fries. The American classic, the American dream.